This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence.
With the flick of a pen, Donald Trump is set to unleash the most reckless tsunami of tariffs Americans have seen in over half a century.
Well, President Trump announcing sweeping tariffs on countries across the globe, though the amount and the timing threw some curveballs today. There is so much to process, and we want to get some answers tonight on what it all means. Dr. Scott Laing is back with us. He is Clinical Assistant Professor of Finance at UB School of Management. Okay, so we last talked, I believe it was about the Canadian tariffs, right?
Yes.
Canada and Mexico, those were delayed. So today was the big announcement, although the tariffs are not going into effect immediately. Some are a couple days away, some are next week. Let me just start with your top line assessment of what the president said today and what people at home should know.
Well, right off the bat, he announced 10% tariffs with all trading partners,
Everybody.
and then some trading partners are getting massive amounts. China 34%, Japan about 24%, I think India 26%. So with these tariffs, it's one of the biggest tax increases in American history, essentially. It's just being paid through the inputs. So when we import all of our goods and services, we're going to see prices go up at the retailers, grocery stores, the automobile prices. Consumers are going to be paying more out of pocket, and household expenditures is expected to increase $3,000 to $4,000 at the household level. And if you're, a low-income family making $35,000, that is a massive increase on your monthly bills.
I've asked you this before about how quickly we could see prices going up, because some people might want to make some changes. People have been out buying automobiles in huge numbers over the past few weeks in anticipation of tariffs. How quickly will we feel the impacts of what was announced today?
I would imagine it's fairly fast this time around because they've been discussed for months at this point now. A lot of businesses and operations have had time to process this increase in tariffs across the board. So automobile manufacturers, likely if this cooked up, they're going to start raising prices. We could see this as quickly as within the week, depending on when the tariffs exactly take effect. We're going to see it at the retailers, grocery stores, basically almost every good and service if we're taxing every importing country that we work with.
What do you anticipate in terms of retaliation? The president has called these retaliatory tariffs in some ways because whatever they were charging us, we're saying we're now charging them. But the expectation is that this sparks a trade war, right? And that we will face new tariffs?
Yes, I would expect most countries to retaliate. They kind of have to. Their back is against the wall. And so it's unfortunate that some of our close trading partners like Canada and Mexico, even the European Union, are going to have to start tariffing our goods as a response, but I don't really blame them, right? They have to respond accordingly. And so we're going to see prices kind of increase globally. And what might be the worst case scenario is our trading partners just start to kind of cut us out of these transactions and make lower tariff agreements amongst themselves. That would be the worst case.
Finally, before I run out of time, the president said it today, he said it many times, that the goal here is to look at the long road, right, and to bring more manufacturing, especially more jobs, back to America. How quickly could that happen, and do these tariffs speed that process along?
That is the debatable question with most economists, in that in order to relocate this manufacturing, these large plants, the facilities, the equipment, that's a multi-year timeline. And so many of these companies might just choose to wait it out and just raise prices accordingly, push that on the consumer. And also, they need capital in order to make these investments, and markets have tanked about 10% since the start of this trade war talk. Their valuations have taken a huge slash, and now they have even less capital to allocate to these investments that we're hoping to see. So it's kind of uncertain moving forward.
A lot of uncertainty, and of course the markets don't like that, and a lot of people at home don't either. We'll keep following all of it. Dr. Scott Laing, Clinical Assistant Professor of Finance at UB School of Management. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you.